knew that the vast Roman Empire was crumbling into ruin. But more than that, the sands of his own life were fast running out, and he himself was doomed soon to die, though this he could not know. Yet a direful foreboding seemed to hang over him. That evening, 3 of Britain's finest flower of knighthood paid a visit to Rome's greatest soldier. Warriors all, they became friends at once.
"Valentinian, the third of his name, has summoned me to Rome for a triumph,"
Aetius said.
"I mistrust the honor as I mistrust him, for he is weak and treacherous and fears the love the people bear toward me."
"It has come to us,"
Val smiled,
"that your emperor favors us even less. When Roman envoys came to Britain demanding tribute, King Arthur ordered them back home with empty pockets. We will probably not be popular in Rome."
"Then let us join forces and go all 4 together,"
said Aetius. "And if die we must, let us die fighting," said Tristram. "One for all, and all for one," cried Gawain, calling for a toast. Along the broad Flaminian Way the next morning, Britain rode with Rome, and once again the faithful legions saw their beloved general smiling. As always when company is cheerful, the journey seemed short, and laughter melted the miles. Of a sudden imperial Rome lay before them, spread over her 7 hills. The marble of her palaces and fountains, her columns and arches, glowed rosy in the setting sun. Val caught his breath in wonder. And yet there was a sadness in all this rich and ripened beauty, as of a perfect blossom that could grow no more but only decay. At the Tiber bridge they parted with Aetius. They to enter the city as strangers, Aetius march in a hero's triumph. And so it was. The streets were lined with nobles and plebeians, freedmen and slaves, all equal in this rare and precious hour of jubilation. For in the triumphal return of a conqueror, the might of Rome stood once more unchallenged, as it had since time out of mind. The air rang with shouting, "Ave Aetius! Hail, Aetius!" In his secluded palace garden, the Emperor Valentinian heard the shouting, and his heart grew sick with fear and envy. The people did no such shouting when he moved among them. Rather, they stood sullenly silent, or glared with wordless hatred till he passed. Yet he was the emperor, the most powerful ruler under heaven, in whose blood lived the glory of Rome eternal. His courtiers and favorites stirred up still further the murderous venom in his sickly soul. One whispered that Aetius concealed a burning lust for power. Another hinted darkly at plots and conspiracies. Another that the legions were loyal to their general and not to their emperor. The fourth fingered the edge of his sword, saying, "Does our lord command us?" Valentinian nodded, and so the unspoken word was given. In all quarters of Rome the emperor's assassins watched and waited. It was dusk when Val and Tristram, after a day of sightseeing, strode tiredly to their lodgings. Sir Gawain, sightseeing for beauties other than those carved of marble, had strolled off and was not now with his 2 comrades. "Behold," Tristram said suddenly, "is not that Aetius?" Some paces ahead of them the general was walking slowly and alone. To Val he seemed deeply troubled, as indeed he was, for reports had come to him that the barbarians from the east were massing to attack the frontiers again. Yet Valentinian had querulously refused to hearken to the danger. Val and Tristram were starting forward when